My impression of the 2012 Innovation Summit was it really opened our eyes to what was truly possible, which, it partly was scary, but also very exciting. So at Microbiologics, we're thinking about, how do we take what's possible and apply it to make a difference in this community.
I want to make the point today that we're turning the world into information. And I'll describe some of the breakthrough technologies that we're seeing at Singularity University. And then I'll talk about the fact that our current societal structures and the way we manage ourselves as a country or as a region fundamentally don't work as we go forward, which brings the question, how do you adapt as we go forward? Technology is being completely democratized to the point where anybody can innovate anywhere in the world in a very globalized way. And information is acting as an accelerant in a way that we've never seen it before. So what do you do? How do you adapt to this? How do you adapt to this environment? How do you adapt to an environment where business models that are exploding are all information-based? Right? So for me, when I think about it, and the reason that I'm interested in this type of a local environment is that there's a couple of fundamentally important attributes that I'm seeing. One is that we are not going to be able to get much help from governments or from corporations as we go forward in time. Communities like this and like yours are going to be central to how we manage our future, to leapfrog our current systems, our political systems, our cultural systems, our business systems. There's something important about every community in America and around the world. There's two attributes that local communities have. One is trust, and the other is community, and the togetherness factor, right? Note that every internet service is desperate for trust and community, and they will beg, borrow, buy, or steal those two attributes, and yet you have it in spades at the local level. How can you harness that and leverage that? In problems that we previously thought were very difficult or very intractable are always addressable by somebody with a fresh brain coming at it with new technologies that fundamentally, or the Gates Foundation is about to give them a ton of money to go do this, apply this to a whole bunch of other diseases and conditions. That's the level of innovation that's critical. And I'm thrilled to be here because the intersection of both an entrepreneurial environment plus social innovation is the fundamental key to how this country will drive forward. I'm pretty negative about Europe, and actually I'm pretty negative about China. I'm very optimistic about the US, but it has to be driven from a local environment. And I think you folks and communities like this around the country are the key to where the future ends up. Because the government's not going to help. Large companies are kind of starting to disappear as a major force in the world, and we will need the rebirth and the creation of a new generation. So with that, I hope I've rewired your brain to some extent. This is our Dalmatian friend from the beginning. Thank you very much for your time. Thank you for having me, and I'm happy to take some questions.
The 2012 Innovation Summit gave me a number of ideas about bringing people together to talk about and have dialogue about innovation and creativity. What I liked about it was we got to hear about what's happening globally and what we might be able to do locally. And my role as executive director of SNESI is to bring people together, to get them talking about innovation and creativity. I'm not going to give them the ideas, they're going to come up with the ideas, but I hope to create spaces in the community where that might happen.